Dary. People are going to be freaking in my house. But there's James Dean and Marilyn Monroe up there, the match of the icons of the era. And but someone in one of the other pages, they went as far as saying Elvis wasn't in purple. He wore the black leather outfit to the White House that he wore in the 69 special. And come on, he did not wear black
Yeah.
leather. Not a single person said he was dressed in. And why would he wear something
So,
three
so,
years later that
so
he
here,
wore on a TV show?
I still haven't talked to Bill Ballou. Now, Bill Ballou is the guy that designed the outfit that Elvis is wearing in the White House.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard two different stories. I heard that he said it was black one time, then he said it was navy blue, and then he said it was Garabine blue or something. But regardless, when I talked to Billy Stanley about it, he did say it was black. He said, but you shine light on it, it's purplish.
Yeah, like
So
this one.
and that's why I said
I'm wearing it right now. Look how
it does
black
yeah.
it
I
looks.
know.
When I look at it in my room, it's purple. And I
But I'm
got three of them.
yeah.
This is purple because I got two. I got the black one. If you compare them, when I put this on just an hour ago for the show, I had to pull all three of them out, go to the bathroom with the
The
bright
light.
light,
Yeah.
and I had to hold all three of these jackets to see which one was purple.
And
Every time I wear them, I do that.
that's a good point. Now, the White House, it's I'm guessing it's probably white inside. There's probably a lot of bright lights. I mean, the hallways got the
Yeah.
pictures. And then that's the thing. It's like we do. Everybody just went round and around in these forums over and over and over again. But the thing is, it distracted from the fact that that doesn't prove it. It would prove that Lucy saw some purple in a closet on the 19th, but it doesn't even matter for the White House visit. Everybody did say purple. Jerry
Yeah.
Schilling said it was purple at one point in time, but Jerry Schilling, he also put himself in the donut shop when Elvis went in there and shop for donut, but he had to retract it later on. So if people are trying to say that Jerry had said it was black, he was inaccurate too.
Said
But
it was purple.
yeah, Sonny West said it was purple. Bud
Yeah.
Crow said it was purple. President Nixon's daughter said it was purple. But
Yeah.
the thing is, more than likely, it was navy blue and looked purple, and that's probably the truth of
I
the
th
matter.
no, I think it absolutely was purple. I mean,
Ah,
Lucy
look at you.
saw it up close in the light, and I'm
Well,
saying,
think about it. Hotel rooms, Dary, are dark.
yeah,
You're not
unless
going
you
to
turn the lights on.
even then. But I'm just saying it doesn't. I think it does a disservice to the whole story to worry about that part because it's a credible love story that spans 24 years. That includes an authenticated love poem. Elvis didn't say, "Great knowing you, Lucy." It was,
Yeah,
for your eyes only. You're my beautiful desert. All that stuff that was gorgeous that he wrote. You
a
know,
summary
it's
of the
yes.
book. It's a summary. And let me tell you about the way guys like me and Elvis think, because I'm a colorful Aries, triple fire sign Aries. When I pull these three jackets out of my closet, which one I'm going to wear, which one I'm in the closet, seems like I always pick the purple one.
Hmm.
The poor blue one and the poor black one. When I'm in my mood to wear these, this guy gets picked because in my eyes, whoo, that's purple. That's cool. Sorry, black. Sorry, deep blue. But if I'm trying to be conservative, I'm gonna wear the black or the dark blue. But if I'm Elvis Presley and I'm gonna go in the White House with a cape and all that, I'm picking purple. And I usually do. This is the one I've worn the most out of the three jackets. I don't even know
I,
if I've worn the black one more than once or twice my whole life.
I do think it's amazing all the different ideas from all the different people. Somebody said he was wearing a black jacket with a purple cape. Somebody said that. Somebody said he was wearing a velvet outfit, purple pants, and
I
purple
know.
suit. So, but that
It's
makes
such a
me think.
mystery.
But that makes me think that it was probably was navy blue or garland blue that turned purple in the light, and everybody saw purple. And so that's what I'm saying. I tried to say that on the Facebook page. Just quit this stuff. Let's just everybody be right. If it was navy blue but look purple, guess what? Or black that look purple. Everybody can be right about this. It's not something to argue over.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from Lucy at all. but I know that there was a point where everybody argued with Lucy, and Lucy stuck to their guns and said, "I saw purple," and
Yeah.
that's the truth. She saw
Not only
purple.
purple, you're forgetting again that would help with the controversy. She said the cape was reversible,
Oh,
black on the inside, purple on the outside, which could be reversed. So if Elvis wanted to look different at any time, he just took it off, reversed it. Now he has purple
yeah, he had his
outfit
cane.
with a
He had his
black
cane and
cape.
stuff. Yeah,
He
he
had
was.
a cane. Why
Yeah,
did
I
he
mean,
have a
he was.
cane? He wasn't injured. He had a cane and a big belt button. It was she's the only one that says it was reversal. And I guarantee if you find that somewhere, she's going to be right. It's going to have inside's going to be black. And there you go with the controversy.
Yeah.
End of
Okay.
story with the controversy.
I
Reversible.
want to talk more about the poems and about all the other stuff because to me
Yeah.
that's what makes it believable. Not a story about the hotel room in Nixon. It just that's a small part of it, and the rest of it is the whole. And I think when
Yeah.
people get involved in that, they don't even want to look at this, and then they distract everybody with this. Bill Burke is one of the big reasons I think that the naysayers are out there. I'm still shocked to read what he read. I mean, you probably saw the video. I know you mentioned him, but do you remember the article as a whole? How
Yeah.
he was wrong about
Not as a
everything?
whole. I just remember all the bizarro accusation, the mountains in Memphis that I mean,
Well,
right off the bat.
he also put Desiree's birth as 1954. That he got her
Yeah.
pregnant on top of the mountain, and she had a baby 9 months later. This is a guy that's supposed to be an established
Yeah.
journalist,
Author.
yeah, author
So
and journalist. I mean, he interviewed Elvis in 1960 on the way back from uh from Germany, and then he wrote 13 different books, and so he's respected in the Elvis world, and so
he's a
that's
hack.
that.
Nobody can make that many grievous errors that'll blow up in his face. That so many eras and getting people wrong and Lucy meeting Elvis in the lobby in Vegas. Nothing
Mhm.
like that ever happened. Nothing like there are no mountains. It doesn't say mountains in Memphis. He
So
said there are no horse facilities at the zoo. How do you make that many horrible mistakes in two short paragraphs? And you have the pictures of people. It was pretty crowded. There were all kind of people riding
and
horses.
not just that, inside Overton Park, which is where the zoo was at, right there was a called Pine Lake Stables. And so here's the other thing. Bill Burke talked about them riding a horse up a mountain. That's one of the things he said. Then they rode to a lake, which was Pine Lake, which was right there on the border of the zoo. So everything that was written in the book, there's a history of it,
Yeah.
and that was one of the videos. So maybe the first video, the Mountain of Evidence, when I went through that, and somebody had sent it to me, Janice. Jan, hold on a second. I'll get her name right. I'll put it on the screen. But she's the one that sent me the Pine Lake Stables, the research that she did. I found the pictures of the horses in the zoo last month. But so there's other people out there that are working to, in a sense, vindicate, Lucy. I mean, you're already vindicated. You don't need any vindication. You've written 19 other books. You
Yeah.
know what's true, and you wrote it. So, but I just love the
Critically acclaimed books.
critically
19
acclaimed.
other critically acclaimed books. Somebody will challenge that. I'll show like 50 pages of critical reviews, supportive critical reviews. But anyway,
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of work. It's a lot
oh,
of having to live up to scrutiny because the attorneys, that's the other thing. The attorneys had to look at the book. They had to verify everything. And so
yeah,
and so at the time, so you got Bill Burke that writes this hit piece, whenever it was, and you have Priscilla Presley's attorney throwing shadow on it, like, there's only one daughter, whatever, like that. Of course, Priscilla Presley's attorney, but that page, they tried to use this attorney as some proof that it wasn't real. I'm saying, are you kidding me? Yeah, there's been 5,000 anti-Priscilla Presley posts for the last 4 years, and you're trying to take Priscilla Presley's attorney's word for it? I
what
mean,
does his attorney say? I don't even remember.
I'll have to look it back up, but it was basically just casting doubt on the fact that Desiree would be Elvis's daughter. That's all it was. It was a press release back in the day that they had to put out,
Oh
and
yeah,
Priscilla was in charge of Elvis Presley and Enterprises, and it was her attorney. But I'm saying this page, the naysayers that hate Priscilla, they're trying to use Priscilla to prove
yeah,
it's
they do
like
that. Remember what I told you about William Morris Agency?
Hmm.
Remember that?
I do.
They were fiercely fighting me. And then they called me up laughing, saying, "Nice job. That was a great book. We want you to come be our client." Because they knew my career was going to take off. So they, after ripping, I said, "You guys been ripping me to threads for 3 months." And they just said, "Welcome to show business." Created a
Hmm.
lot of controversy. It was a beautifully written book. We want you to come join the agent. And to join that big agency was like the biggest for an author. You kill to get represented by William Morris. And they came at me numerous times after that. And they were just laughing. Same guy I saw quote. I said, "Didn't I see you quoted saying the book was a scam?" And the guy just laughed. Welcome to Hollywood.
Right.
Did a good job and they wanted to sign me up, but I was loyal to my current agent. So I didn't sign with them. She would have been upset. I couldn't backstab her. I had a really, really good New York agent at the time who was very powerful in her own right. So I wasn't, and she stood by me and all that. But that just shows the game they play. Priscilla might have known. I mean, Priscilla dated Julio, and
Hmm.
Julio knew Desiree was the daughter, and they were dating. And you won't tell me what Priscilla said.
I won't, but I can tell you that Julio did. That
Confront her about it, and you
at
won't
least
say
at
what
least
her.
yeah. Well, I don't. I didn't say Julio didn't confront her, but he did say something that it ticked Priscilla off about Desiree. But anyways,
Yeah, and
so yeah, that's
I'm
for
sure
Desiree to
Priscilla,
share.
I'm sure Julio backed off so he could get nookie that night. Okay, okay, she's not Desiree's, it's not the daughter. Please,
Yeah.
let's go out or let's go back to the bedroom or whatever. Julio. But anyway, what an incestuous relationship, huh? What a great movie with all these people and all the connections and Marlon Brando and Julio and the rock star who did the rock version of the poem now, that Desiree's a good friend. Desiree's with Enrique Iglesias, who was a big international heartthrob, and all this stuff. She's traveled in heady circles for being the illegitimate girl left out in the rain. She had a good life. She's had a really good life.
Hmm. Yeah,
Really.
and I challenge anybody out there to find a bunch of articles about Desiree Presley that she put out there. She hasn't. She's been quiet and private for
Yeah.
30 years. So
But
that
I think why Desiree lived this trailblazing international life in the Julio Iglesias entourage. They know David Foster. The family knows the great. He's got like 100 Grammys, right? And
oh, a lot. Yeah.
they all know him. And he had like 5 wives or 10 wives.
Linda Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, Linda Thompson too. See, the incestuous. He had one of five or something.
But
And
wasn't Linda Thompson the Miss Tennessee or Linda Thompson the nurse?
same one.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, right, right. I think Lucy's youngest daughter, Jacqueline, was wanted to be in show business, was the closest clone of Lucy and was just absolutely gorgeous. And I think David Foster took a liking to her. So they were all connected. So it's in her. And you know what I think it is? I think because Desiree has the Presley blood, she has to glow. Elvis glowed. He walked into a room, even if he wasn't Elvis, if he was just a regular guy, he glows. All the impersonators who look like him, you can't take your eyes off them. They walk into a room and they glow. And Desiree has that glow. Everywhere she goes, people stare at her. I've said this before, and people would take me aside. Who is that? Who is that? Who's that woman? And I say, that's Elvis Presley's secret daughter. And they go, "Oh, yeah, I see it. That's what I'm seeing." Because she glows. So because she glows, she fell into that Hollywood whirl and traveled the world with, then Julio was like the biggest star in the world for a period of time. So her glow took over. And even Lucy's daughter, which was not Elvis's daughter, but had Lucy's glow, Lucy glowed. Lucy lit up a room wherever she was, and the daughter Jacqueline had the same quality. So they glow. People are they're comet people. And that's Desiree. I mean, when she went to New York for some of the book tours, it was just crazy. She almost created fans on the street and they didn't even know who she was. She'd pull up to the publisher in a limousine and get out, and people just stopped and stared. Who is
Hmm.
that? Who is that? Oh, that's Elvis Presley's daughter. Wow. I see it. She looks just like him. They were all saying that to me in New York when we were doing the book tours and appearances.
I think there's a lot of people that wish, Dary. I think there's a lot of people that wish that Lucy and Desiree had taken a legal foot and sued, and then I think that there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that wish that would have happened.
I could have got Ellis Rubin to do it, the attorney in my second book, the famous Florida attorney. I must have talked to him
They
about
never
it.
signed anything away, right? Just let's just for kicks and giggles talk about this. Because
Oh,
the only way you're going to force Elvis Presley Enterprises, or really the representation of the DNA, which is Riley or Harper or Finley, the only way you're going to force them to do anything is through legal means. I'm not saying you. Desiree wants to do a
yeah.
DNA test with Riley or Harper or Finley. She doesn't want to have some question about some Donna, one of these authors that are a cousin or a second cousin,
Yeah.
or Elvis's cousin Billy Smith. She doesn't want to deal with that kind of stuff because what do we know? They could be illegitimate. I'm not accusing them of it, but they could be illegitimate and not truly have Presley's
Right,
blood. So you
exactly.
don't want to test a bit. You want to go straight to the source, and you can't go to Elvis. You can't go to Lisa
Yeah.
anymore, but you can go to Riley and you can go to Harper or Finley. That's the only option she has now of a true DNA, and it would have to be, to me, I suggested it's a double blind. You've got her DNA expert, their DNA expert. They both give blood, they both test, and they should come back the same result
Yeah.
without a switcheroo.
And then, and here I am babbling about why I didn't get Ellis Rubin, who would have taken that case pro bono in a second. He loved being in the limelight, but he'd have taken that case, and he was a real good friend of mine. He was my second book. And then I remember Lucy would have been horrified and told Desiree, no, 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 no claim, no
Mm-hmm.
money. So that
Yeah.
that's why I never did. I'm sure I set Ellis up with my third book guy. Joe Stadino in the political scandal book, What's in It to Me. I flew Ellis into town from Miami to Arizona to represent him when it was a big scandal. It was like ASCAM, big political scandal. So I got him to represent my third book guy. So, but he would have gladly represented Desiree. He's no longer with us, but he was a great guy, trailblazing attorney,
Mm-hmm.
Ellis Rubin.
Yeah, I recognize the name, even though once again, I couldn't give you a biography of him, but I recognize that name as being pretty high up there in the legal world.
I'm telling you, if Lucy would have let Ellis represent Desiree, Desiree would be living in Graceland now.
And
It would
that's what
be, she'd be there. He'd have proven it. He'd have won the case in court. He was fantastic. She'd be
but
living in Graceland.
even if Desiree doesn't want a piece of it because to honor the memory of her mom, I think she's still going to have to file an actual claim against Graceland in order to get courts to make it happen. Because
Yeah.
I don't see anybody voluntarily. I don't see Riley or Harper Finley voluntarily giving their DNA up. I just don't see it.
No, they're not going to do it. Why
So
would not
so the
only
hands
would
are
it,
tied. You know.
even if they were best friends with Desiree, even if Lisa Marie and Desiree had met and hugged in the Target when they came face to face, if something would have struck them both and said, "My goodness, that's my sister," I can just tell. Like the scene in the Tarzan movie, you just tell, That's why her husband freaked out. If they had become best friends, they would have agreed not to give up either of their DNA. Desiree would now be on the inside and know not to give up her Desiree because then more would come. You
Yeah,
know, more
that's
claims
the
would
other
be
thing. Yeah.
filed and all, even if they were best friends. So,
And
so
there's and there Yeah.
Riley and all of them, if they befriended Desiree, they'd tell her, please don't give up your DNA.
So then how does she ever really, because she does want it. She wants the birthright. You wrote a book, you're content to know what you put out there is the truth.
That's what I was going to
She,
say.
yeah.
The answer is I wrote the book, and the book's published all around the world, and 99% of the people in the world believe it because it's a major publisher and it's a beautiful book and all that. But, just for some naysayers and another story. I mean, when Charles Hamilton came out, it was widely accepted that she was Elvis Presley's daughter. It was all the news stories, even some of the naysayers, strongest naysayers. I go to their Facebook page and they have those news stories on their Facebook page. I see it in their photo section. They got Charles Hamilton decreeing that yes, Desiree is Elvis Presley's daughter. So she got that acceptance, but the DNA would help now. What's she got to lose? But who's going to do it?
That's
And
what
if
I'm
she
saying.
befriends them, they're going to tell her, please, you're one of us now. You're my sister. You're now under Graceland's decree not to give up your DNA.
So let's go back to what you said about 2 minutes ago that I think everybody on the channel needs to hear. That if Riley and Harper and Finley gave their DNA and so did Desiree, then that's DNA for every other person to test against, whether they're psyched, whether they're
Yeah.
nutso and there's no way in the world they could be Elvis's child, or whether they could have a legitimate claim. There's people messaging me left and right about this John Presley, this country singer that supposedly has DNA, and of course the lady that not to be mentioned really yet, or maybe ever. But there's other people. There's Inquirer articles about the 8 children of Elvis Presley.
Yes.
So you have that stuff going on. And it would turn into a circus. It would. But if
Would.
if everybody but Desiree was not positive, only Desiree positive, then that all goes away. But then there's other people going to pop out.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
And they'll shut her down. And she's so sweet and nice. If she gets accepted by the Graceland people and the relatives, she's going to shut down too. She's not going to do it. Hey, there was a famous Mexican Elvis, El Toro Elvis or something. Do you know who I'm talking about? He got really famous. He's
Uh,
probably an Elvis kid when Elvis was filming Fun in Acapulco and
hmm.
singing Guadalajara, which was
Oh,
on
maybe.
your phone. Do you
Hmm.
know that guy, El Vejo Elvis or
I
something?
don't. I just keep thinking El Pollo Loco, the chicken place.
No, there's a guy who got pretty big down in Mexico. I think he said he was Elvis's son from the movie when
Alpha
Elvis was
Acapulco? Elvis. Elvis.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis, you heard of Elvis? Yeah, probably fun and alcohol. His birth probably dates to 6 months after Elvis was filming Fun in Acapulco, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean,
He was down there. And
I think
that's
most.
Guadalajara. Maybe now we know why Guadalajara was on your phone. Why that came on your phone. That's Elvez wants to be on your channel. Get Elvez on your channel if he's got a story, because he got really famous and he was supposedly very good. People were saying he was the best Elvis impersonator of all, and he was
Huh.
Hispanic. So I guess someone will match the timeline if he was born
We'll
anywhere.
ask we'll ask Marta. We'll ask Marta, who's on here all the time.
I
You know.
like Marta, but she's not Mexican. I don't think is Martha.
No, but I think but I feel like she's in South America somewhere.
Yeah,
And of course, South America is right there. You got Mexico, then South America.
yeah.
It is part of South
Oddly
America.
enough, I talked to Marta about Spanish singers like Julio and
Do
Enrique,
you
and
think she's from Spain? Maybe is what you're saying. That Marta's from Spain, maybe
you
Europe.
might be from Europe. She'll post. She's really good.
Hmm.
We talked about it, and she wasn't really up on the Spanish entertainers,
Okay.
surprisingly, because I asked her about Julio and Enrique and Julio Iglesias Jr. and but Elvez, we need to check him out. He'd be fun on the show. Could
Hmm.
be another a child. Elvis, the title. What's the title of the movie?
Of the
The Elvis movie.
Elvis
Say the
2020.
title. What was the
Oh,
title?
Guadalajara.
No, that's the
Oh,
song.
Fun in Acapulco. Yeah.
Well, how do you have fun in Acapulco? You go and have all kind of affairs down there with those beautiful Mexican women. That's
Yeah,
where people go to
he,
millions of Americans go to Tijuana to have fun in Tijuana, So that's the name of the movie. Elvis probably thought that was tongue in cheek. He was
huh,
having a lot of fun in Acapulco. So
yeah,
Elvis.
Elvis. Well, I'll look into it, but I'm going to stay this. I'm going to stay the course and stay on this ship with Desiree. With
Yeah.
because I'm going to try to do everything I can. I'm going to start doing shorts, and I'm going to be reaching out to Riley and Harper and Finley with these shorts on YouTube that sometimes can go get 1 million views or 150,000 views. I'm going to do a lot of them, and so I'm going to try to push the envelope a little bit to see if I can
Yeah.
help. That's really what I want to do. I want to help. And the funny
And
thing
what
is,
about, do they need DNA tests too? Riley and all of them? Because we know Priscilla. Priscilla was a little randy modern woman. You got to give her the credit for just being her own woman
I
and
mean,
having her affairs and going with big handsome karate stars. Did you do the Mike Stone
I
video?
did.
Oh,
Yeah, I talked to him. I talked to him for
what
about an
did
hour
he
and a
say
half.
about Desiree?
We didn't really talk about Desiree, honest. We just kind of talked about his martial arts and about his philosophy of life right now. And
How's
we're
he
gonna.
doing in life? Is
He
he
seems to
well
be.
set?
He seems to be. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and then there's Mike Stone. I didn't realize how big Mike Stone really was in the karate world until I researched him. 91 straight wins,
Yeah.
never hit in the face ever. Um, International champion, national champion.
Did
He
he
did.
make
He
any,
did.
did he make any movies?
He sure did. He made the first ninja movie. The reason why there's ninja movies is because of American Ninja that he made.
He wasn't in, but he wasn't in Enter the Dragon
No, not with Bruce Lee. No.
or
Um,
yeah, he wasn't in the
but
Mortal
he
Kombat.
after Priscilla, right after that whole mess when they broke up, he
Uh,
went to the Philippines and he's been there since.
he
He
lives
got
in the Philippines?
Yeah, he got out of Hollywood. He was sick of the Hollywood scene. He was probably sick of all the drama that happened with his relationship with Priscilla, and he's been in the Philippines for almost 50 years, I think.
Wow, my
And
my old hometown.
yeah, and
I
here's
didn't
the
know
other
he's
thing.
in the
He's
Philippines.
he's best friends with Engelbert Humperdinck, and he was really good friends with John Lennon.
Wow.
Weird. I mean, the things you find out about people that you don't hear because. And I told him, I said, "Look, man, I've made some videos about you, buddy. I made some videos about you, but mainly about Priscilla. I never really condemned. I did condemn him about leaving his wife and kids for
Yeah,
Priscilla. I didn't like that. But then I said,
nobody
you know
liked
what?
that.
That's 50 years ago. How many times have I made mistakes in life, or you've made mistakes? We've got to realize that okay, if somebody changes their ways and lives a different life, forget about the shit back there. Just forget about that stuff. Now, if somebody does the same thing over and over again, like I feel Priscilla's done, I'm not giving her any quarter right now. I'm just not. She hasn't
That was a
changed.
bad one. That was a bad one though, Mike Stone. Man,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
do that. You
but here's
just
the
don't. And
deal.
he's a macho man and he should never, but he got caught up in Hollywood. You get sucked into Hollywood and then it's all normal. How many stars have done that?
Yeah.
You've had NBA players. We
Well,
had a big,
look at it this way. Look at it this way. He wasn't friends with Elvis, not a bit. He met him a couple times just in passing for a few minutes. You have this little petite girl coming up crying, saying how they need protection and they've been unloved. Your macho side is going to take over sometimes, and that's probably what happened with Mike Stone. And then he was like, "What the heck have I gotten into after 4 years?" You know. And so
and but and that little crying girl's paying him and you
he
know
he didn't need
giving
money.
him gifts and all
So
that
so
with
so no,
Elvis's
he didn't
money.
need it. No, he didn't need it. But I was
Yeah,
just
but
saying he
she
didn't.
still gave it to him.
Yeah, she probably did. Yeah,
She
yeah.
was taking lessons from him, private lessons with Elvis's money. So that guy doesn't, I mean, he kicked my butt, but I'm fascinated he lives in the Philippines, though, because I lived there for 4 years. I wonder why he picked the Philippines. Did he say why he picked the Philippines?
Um. Well, he's from Hawaii. I know that, and of course,
Yeah,
that's
all
probably
right.
why. Probably
He has
family
that
ties.
age. He probably knows Filipino martial arts. There's all kind of special sects of. I have a high school friend who was big in the Filipino martial arts, and they have special weapons. And
Oh
I
yeah,
got,
like I say, there was three people that are synonymous with being the best of the best in the U.S., and that was Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and Mike Stone. Like literally, there's talks about that Mike Stone. We didn't talk about it. That Mike Stone and Bruce Lee sparred. That they had a sparring thing, and neither could beat each other.
yeah,
So that's how good Mike Stone was. Now, once again, I mean, here I'm singing the praises of martial arts because I study martial arts. I wrote katas. I studied combat tai chi.
uh,
I wouldn't be afraid to have five people try to attack me. I would take them all down. I've got 100% confidence that nobody could hurt me, and that's
so
how Mike
those,
Stone.
so you're saying those biddies on that page can't take you down? My son's a second degree black belt in Taekwondo, so I
Yeah.
know a little bit of the. Jun Ri. You ever heard of Jun
Oh
Ri,
yeah.
the Korean? He was the one who came and gave my son his black belts.
Okay.
Jun Ri, the famous Korean Taekwondo master. So, wow, what a
Well,
connection we have.
and it's very interesting. Of course, once again, I mean, I know that there's still Elvis fans that on this channel that are not too happy that I interviewed Mike Stone, but I say who he is today is who I care to know. Back then, he said he was a scoundrel. He was not a good guy back then. He's admitted it. But everybody wants to have him I want to apologize to all you Elvis fans. That's what they want for having the affair with Priscilla. But the truth is, Priscilla was cheating on Elvis Presley 3 years before she met Mike Stone. She cheated with her dance instructor in 68 while Elvis was filming. She admitted it in her book. So
Yeah.
Mike Stone is not the person that broke up the marriage. Priscilla was, and Elvis was. They both were responsible. Mike Stone is just who Priscilla went with afterwards. And this dude was on the cover of every magazine in martial arts in Hollywood. He was hanging out training with Bruce Lee training him, training Chuck Norris training him. They all studied together. This guy
Uh,
didn't need anybody, you know. And
Obviously, he did, though.
no, but he left it all. He hated Hollywood. He hated the martial art
He
industry.
made that decision to leave his pregnant wife or
I
whatever
know there's
it
that.
is.
There is
So,
that part. But
so he
here's
got
the
sucked in.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, you're
know,
right.
you can get sucked into Hollywood, entertainment. Like he said, it was 50 years ago, bad
But he
mistake. Is he
but he
still
also said
close
that
to
he
the
was
child?
I don't know. And that's the one
You
thing.
didn't
It's like
ask him if what
so
happened. Was it a boy or a girl?
maybe I'll ask him, but this is what I know from reading part of
I'm not
Mike's book.
judging you, Mike,
No,
so you
no,
don't need to kick I'm your Filipino brother, so don't judge me.
he had a great movie that I saw in one of his videos recently. Basically, the guy's on the opposite side, and the guy's got his right hand over here, and you do that, and you move to this side, and boom. So you take
Yeah.
you take the thread away. But anyway, so yeah, he would kick our butts both with his just his feet.
I
You know,
wonder
with his,
why they didn't put him in Enter the Dragon.
I'm not sure.
They put that great black
Kareem
karate guy.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? Wasn't he in there?
Oh no, that was the last.
The last
That
script.
was a clip from a movie when Bruce Lee died.
Oh, okay.
No, the black karate guy was in Enter the Dragon. He had an afro. He was a cool. John Saxton was John Saxton even a karate guy or just an actor?
I don't know. Oh, I see him here. Yeah, Into the
What's his
Dragon,
name?
1973. And let me see. Yeah,
What
John
was?
Saxon.
No, who was the black guy?
Oh, Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't he well known in karate? He wasn't an actor.
I don't
He was
know.
a. I think he got killed in the movie. Did they kill him?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. He's from Paris, Kentucky.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
he
a
was a he was a he was a professional tennis player.
Kelly. How did he get the role as the big karate master? Wow,
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
but
I think one of the main guys killed him in
probably
in the movie.
he
And
had three.
John Saxton, did he have any real skills?
I don't know.
He did well in the movie. He
And then
played,
you had Bolo Young, who's been in all the martial art movies since.
yeah,
That guy, he always just mean looking.
And he was bulked up. He
Yeah.
was pretty heavy. Yeah, yeah. That was a great movie.
But yeah, going back to the Mike thing, I just don't think he wants to go back and talk about all the mistakes he made. He wants to talk about what he's doing today, how he's living life now, because I think he's just tired. He's been tired of looking in his past. If you think about it, when you've made mistakes in the spotlight,
Well,
where
he's
where 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 hundreds of millions of Elvis fans hate you, the
yeah,
last thing you want to do, but people are going to say, well, why did he sell the Christmas movie? He had this Christmas tape of Priscilla and Lisa and Elvis that somehow Priscilla left behind. And he said that he contacted Graceland. They said he was lying. Then they tried to buy it from him. And then he tried to reach out to Priscilla and give her the movie and Lisa, and they wouldn't respond back to him. And so he just auctioned it off last month.
yeah. And got
So
more
you
bad
have that.
publicity.
Yeah,
What'd
I
they
don't
say he
know.
was lying? What'd they say he was lying about?
They didn't say he
Grace.
was lying. They just that he didn't own it, that they had everything already, that he there's no way he owned anything that they didn't
They
know
did the
about.
same. They did the same dance with him that they did to us, right? They said he didn't have the rights to it.
Yeah,
Well, it'd be hard to sue him in the Philippines.
yeah.
So he's smart there going to the Philippines. Does he say what city he lives in? Is he in Manila? He must. I bet he has a mansion there.
I don't know. Maybe it
I'll
didn't look
ask
very.
my. I'll have to ask my Filipino friend.
I really think he lives fairly simplistic. Yeah, he teaches stuff. He goes around and he does seminars. Like he was in Kentucky a couple years ago doing a seminar. Half of it was about living right, keeping your side of the street
Yeah,
clean, spiritual life, and then the other half was about kicking someone's ass.
yeah. And the
You know?
Filipinos like that, but they don't have a lot of money. It's like I don't know, 50 to 1 to the dollar pesos. When I lived there, it was only 6 to 1.
Hmm,
And then when I went
really?
back in 2000, it was 50 to 1. You get full course meal for $3. So I guess I'm sure he's living well there. Well, good for him.
I'm gonna say that a lot of the Elvis fans are gonna be like that Dary Matera. He didn't like what Mike Stone did to the wife, so you're gonna gain some fans there. That was a very honest assessment. I didn't like it either, but
Oh, yeah. Come
I'm not
on.
gonna hold his feet to the fire when I wasn't around back then, and he didn't personally hurt me. And he obviously moved on from it, and I hope he's got a relationship with the kid. I don't know. The kid might not even be with us anymore. People die at 20 or 30 or 40 these days in car accidents. So I didn't want to bring up something I didn't have any right to ask him.
Oh, you remember my background too. I'm original New York Italian. I wrote deep mafia books. Those guys could be the most vicious killers, no conscience, kill somebody, but their children and their first original wives were princesses and to be loved and endeared, no matter how many affairs they had. They would never leave their wife and abandon their children because the mob would kill them. If a
Mm.
soldier or a captain in the mob left his wife and went with some bimbo, the mob would execute him. That was family in the Italian culture, in a lot of cultures, meant everything. So that's
Well,
why, I'm saying, you can't do that.
but they would keep their wives and children, but then they would have all the women they wanted on the side.
Yeah, yeah. And I
So,
remember in my families, there would be we'd have a Christmas in New York and all that, and there'd be these pretty women there, and they'd say, "Oh, that's Uncle Joe's ex-wife," and Uncle Joe's not at the party, but the blood family Italian, they're all what a jerk. But the
right.
ex-wife from the neighborhood kept going and was part of the family because she was the mother of the grandchildren and all. And they kept coming to the family, to the parties all these years. So the family embraces that first wife, second wives, and all that. And there was that show, Mafia Bride. That's another one that asked me to do a book. One of the Mafia Bride ladies, one of the big, wild Italian women. But they're very, very loyal to their family. So that's why I have that feeling when I kind of cringe. Come on, Mike Stone, a karate guy. He should have had a macho code, but each person's their own life. Who knows?
Yeah.
You got what, 20 kids and 30 cats, right? You know that.
I have four boys, had five, and I've got nine cats. And yeah, I wouldn't dream of leaving. I wouldn't dream of but
Any
I've
other
only been
life.
married once. I've only
And
been married once. So
you're the pushover dad who goes to different restaurants the same night for each kid, right? That still
yes.
that still boggles what a good dad you are. Man,
Well,
I would not put up with that. Maybe if I had a
there, there,
whiny little girl who wanted something different. Man, got
they're
a
only
daughter too now or just
no,
boys?
only boys. They're only little ones, you know. And even though my 17-year-old is 17, he's still little in a sense, you know,
Oh,
until he grows out and gets his own family, you know. But
wow,
yeah, mine.
it's a bummer your beautiful wife didn't clone herself, you know?
Well,
Does
I
she
don't.
regret that? Does that give her pain?
So think you might not know this, but 7 years ago we lost a child.
Yeah.
They cut her uterine artery, left her bleeding for 5 hours, had surgery for 5 hours,
Woo.
and then she was still bleeding for another 4 hours. Another team of surgeons came, another 6.5 hours of surgery. They saved her life, even though they're the ones that about killed her. But she had to have a hysterectomy, so no children. So we didn't have a chance to have more children. We would have, and maybe we would have had a girl.
Oh,
But
you had four.
my family is all boys for the most part. My sister, 5 boys. My brother,
Wow.
5 boys, 1 girl. She died of cancer at 5. Well, sorry,
Wow.
at 13. She had cancer from 5 to 13. My brother John, who is gay, had 1 boy. Um, and
Wow.
uh, and my brother Philip died too young to have children, you know, in a car accident.
Wow.
And then I have 4 boys, 5 boys actually, 5 boys. So
You'd be a good Arab family in the Middle East or something, you know, because the boys are prized and the women are kind of you're depressed when you have them. But man, there was a baseball player who what's that revelation parties they have now? What's it called?
oh,
The sex revelation party?
I don't know. We're not talking about
The
Diddy. We're talking
sex
about
reveal. That's a big
oh yeah,
deal.
yeah, the sex reveals when they blow up a balloon that's blue
Yeah,
or yeah,
yeah.
red.
And there was this baseball player who had four daughters, and he went to the party, and it was another daughter, and you saw the look on his face, and he just shook his head and walked away. It was hilarious. It's kind of a viral thing because he couldn't hold it. He wanted a boy. He's an athlete in a baseball, and he's got these four daughters, and he had another one.
Yeah.
So
I think it has to do with the guy. I don't think the woman has anything to do with it, whether it's the sex of the child. There's
yeah.
something about that I thought I read in some sort of a science thing. So back in the day when the kings would just lop off the head of the poor woman they have given daughters, it wasn't their fault, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I know, and it's Italian. It's in Italian culture. She's a good woman who gave me many sons. That's the same with the kings, the same with the mafia. I had that called the mafia kings. She's a good woman and she gave me three sons, and I'm always going to love her, no matter how many Goombas they call them or some name for the Italian girlfriends. Goodfellas, you know, if you saw the movie Goodfellas, they took their wives out on Friday night and their girlfriends out on Saturday night, the mafia guys, you know. And the guy I wrote the book with, Michael Franzese, I wrote his book. His character was in Goodfellas in one of the scenes. They even named him. He said he was sitting there with his new girlfriend, the Spanish girl that changed his life, the Christian Spanish girl. That's what Quitting the Mom's a romantic story about how this Christian, poor, beautiful Mexican girl changed his life and got him to quit the mob. And he was watching Goodfellas with her, and they suddenly name him in the movie. And he says, "All right, let's go. We got to go." And she said, "I want to see it." No, we got to go because he didn't know what was coming after that. But she was intrigued. She knew who he was, but he just got up and took off with her. So that'll be a quitting the mob story. We'll get Michael on too. He's
Yeah.
fantastic. He looks like he's 40 years old and he's in his mid 70s. So
Hmm.
he's got that good Italian blood. I don't know if you've seen any of his YouTube pages.
I haven't. I should go take a look.
Yeah, you will before we do his book. He reviews all the mafia movies going back in time, and he knows all the characters.
I'm
That's
sure
what's
personally,
fascinating.
he knows them
You
all
know,
personally. Yeah.
he knew casino characters. He knew the Goodfella guys. He knew all of them. All the characters Decino played. He said who he was, and he's always saying, yeah, uh, didn't look like Ray Liotta. He said that guy didn't look anything like Ray Liotta. I met that guy, forgot his name, out in California, the one they based Goodfellas on. He wanted me to do his book. Like you said, I do one Elvis book, the Elvis people. I do one Mafia book, all the mobsters read it and want me to do their books. So that was, hey, what's that guy's name? Anybody, somebody will know who Goodfellas was based on. He wasn't even Italian.
Huh.
And he wasn't even a made man because he wasn't Italian, but he got a big giant book and movie made. I was hanging out with him in LA, whatever his name is. Where's my brain?
Somebody will know. Somebody will know in the comments, and that's the
Of
great
course,
thing about
yeah.
this
Or you
channel.
could look it up on your phone.
I could, but I want them to look it up because I know that they,
Yeah, they
they
like
take.
that.
Well, the
They
thing is,
all like that, the comment. They listen and they do it. They've been naming everybody I said, I can't think of them. I go to comment and they name the guy. They name the guy. They name the song and they name the guy. I love that. You got a great comment section.
yeah,
What a
there's. I mean,
difference. What a difference between the other pages. Your people are so nice and wonderful, intelligent and smart and perceptive and logical. They're not just following my yapping and being acolytes or anything. They just see the story and this got to be true. No one can make this up, especially the foreigners, because your page is international. That's what's cool about it.
so I was looking. I always look at my statistics because I have a studio to kind of see how many people watch this video, how long they watch it for.
Yeah.
But 60%, 61% of the watch hours or watch views are from America, and then the other 40% are from around the world. We've got like
Yeah.
10% in the UK, and there's like 6% in Australia, 4% in Ireland. So I can see it broken up, and of course they have a lot of these other countries have their own YouTube channel. Like Mexico has a YouTube Mexico channel. So I don't have as much viewers from Mexico because it's
Oh,
all Spanish YouTube.
right.
But yeah, it's very interesting. I love talking to people from all across the world. Germany, the UK, of course, and uh,
Speaking of
Sweden,
that,
Switzerland. Yeah. Hey, I put a screenshot of the French version, Mon Amour. Was it?
oh, yeah, I got that on my closet. But when I mentioned this book in the comment section, people saying, I got that version. I got that. I said, well, read all the document examiners are in it.
Yeah.
This is the English language version. I thought on your shelf or no, or something.
No, I
And
saw
I'm
it.
still
I have.
intrigued by this one, the
I
psychic.
know. I
That's a
know.
great picture of Elvis at his coolest, but Grace Pearl, the psychic. I wonder whatever happened to her. She'd be so pleased we're
She
talking.
wrote another Elvis book,
Who did?
Grace.
Oh, she wrote two?
Yeah.
What was the second one about?
I don't remember. All I know is that I ordered the book and it never came. So the people that asked me, hey, let me know where you ordered it from. I said, until I get it, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want your money to get taken. So, and it wasn't from Grace herself. She didn't, she doesn't have
No.
top, but you know, maybe
Well,
I'll
it
still.
was republished in Georgia.
Oh, was it?
A publishing. I'll send you the publishing company because it had enough attention where it was published in Canada, then republished by a company in Georgia. So,
Yeah, I think I paid $40 for shipping, so it probably was Canada where I ordered it from.
wow. And you never got it? What'd
Not
they say?
yet.
What are they saying?
I got no response.
Oh,
And then, of course, the reason why I don't have the UK version of Are You Lonesome Tonight that it's only available in the UK and on eBay it's about $20 and the shipping's about 35 or 40. So I was like, you
oh,
know
that's
what?
crazy. I should send you one. I got a box of them in my
Okay.
I just hate mailing anymore. Ever since email and attachments, it seemed like it's so cumbersome to pack something up and write an address nowadays when you can just pop it. But yeah, I got a bunch of them. Send it to Peter Piper with his the document examiners don't exist because you won't crawl in the attic. And we do have scorpions like crazy in Arizona. They are everywhere.
And
I'm on
some are very big and they glow in the dark because I
all
had
of them
one on my
glow.
foot. I had one on
They're
my foot one time.
it bit you?
No, I was walking across the desert as a maybe 12, 13 years old, and I stopped for a second, and all of a sudden a scorpion crawls across my foot and sits on it, and it's glow in the dark. It's a big one, so it's not poisonous, not very poisonous. And I kicked that mother. I went, ah! And it went flying through the sky, and I watched it just fly and then land and scurry away. It was
That
like that big.
they're gonna make a meme of you now on the hater pages. You're gonna have a scorpion meme. How is it glowing though? You got to put a black light on them
No,
usually.
there. I don't know, but they no, I can probably look it up. But it was the desert of California. I grew up in the desert of
Was it
California.
night?
It was nighttime, yeah.
Okay,
Fluorescent.
yeah,
Yeah.
we go out and hunt them with black lights, and they're everywhere.
Let's see here.
We got tarantulas, rattlesnakes, scorpions. They're all up in my attic where they want me
Yeah,
to keep climbing.
they glow in moonlight. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
that or not. They glow in moonlight.
yeah, they're beautiful. They're
And
mostly green.
yeah, that's what it was. It was a yellowish green, and like literally after I kicked it, it was flying for several seconds, 5, 6, 7, then it landed and scurried away. I followed it.
It's amazing. That was instinctive, right? You didn't do it on purpose. You
Oh,
just
I
instinctive.
scared to death. I'm
Yeah, I
12 years
know.
old, barefoot, and there's
Yeah.
a scorpion on my foot.
Yeah.
Believe
Well,
me,
people get stung. Women freak out when they see one in their house and they immediately call the exterminators.
y'all also have vinegaroons. We had vinegaroons too because we're close enough. We were 3 hours away from each other. 29 Palms in Sonora, Arizona,
Yeah.
about 3 hours. But vinegaroons look like a scorpion, and
I thought you were saying shrooms. You
no,
were
no,
taking
no,
vinegar. You're getting high now and
vinegar
hallucinating.
shrooms, right?
You're doing shrooms, vinegar rooms. What are they called?
Vinegaroons, yeah. You
Oh,
okay?
it's
Well,
true. They're up in my attic. When everybody go up in the
Gila
attic.
monsters. Gila monsters. Have you
Oh,
seen a
yeah.
Gila monster? Yes, those things are deadly.
Hey, we're pushing 2 hours again.
All
Hey, you
right.
should
Well,
divide this up. I
okay.
think the hour versions are better than the 2 hour.
I'll
Us
do it.
crazy talking for 2 hours. But boy,
Part
I didn't
one.
think we'd have anything to talk about, and this 2 hours just flew by,
We
mostly because
always
of my purple jacket.
we always do. You should have said it was a black jacket, and then it was
Yeah,
no, that's purple.
I know.
Anyways, yeah,
I should have showed the other two.
yeah.
Maybe next week I'll hold the other two in my hand. And I didn't buy them for Elvis. I bought them because I saw them in a store on a rack, and I bought all three of them at a Target, believe it or not.
Hmm.
Where again, full circle,
Yeah.
the famous eye to eye meeting with Desiree and Lisa Marie at a Target. And this is where I got this jacket 30 years later because it was cool looking. I can see
Yeah.
why Elvis would like crushed velvet. I don't know what gabardine is. What is gabardine? I don't even
Some
know
sort
that.
of a shade. It's a shade of blue that's more like lavender, like
It's a
purple.
color and not
Yeah.
a, I thought it was a texture.
I don't know.
Gabardine is a color or a texture?
Good
All the
question.
listeners are saying what idiots we
No,
are.
it's not a color. It's a durable twill
That's what
worsted
I
wool.
thought.
So navy, but so it was a navy or a blue
I
wool.
don't think it
Who
was,
knows?
yeah, I
But I'm
think
just
it
saying
was
that it's kind of
crushed
like
velvet. What
if
do you
it
got in the
looked
corner up here? What's in the corner behind you? Is that Pokemon or what?
in the
The
corner.
colors, the splash of colors. No, the splash of colors on the
This
wall.
side, this side.
Move your hand over. Move your hand over to the there, right there. What's all those colors?
That's Elvis.
Oh no, a little farther. The other side. Other side. Oh, that's me. All right, never mind. I'm looking at my own stuff. I'm
Oh
getting
my
crazy.
goodness, Dary! It's
That's
it's
the
time. It's
flowers.
time to end it. We're done.
Yeah, that's the flowers on my divider.
El-
Sorry.
Elvis wearing a purple jacket here.
There you go. There you go.
Anyways,
See, I
uh,
pointed at that. All right. Well, I don't know if we covered what we were supposed to yet.
well, we had a great conversation. That's what this is
What's
all
this
about.
book? What's the orange book?
That's Mike Stone.
Oh, that's his.
And then
I have a book with that almost exact same cover.
this is Linda Thompson. This is Linda Thompson's friend that was the other beauty queen that actually stayed with him a lot.
Which one's Linda's in red?
Linda's there.
Yeah.
And then
He
that's
Lucied her up. Was that her normal look? Did she have really dark? I thought she was kind of honey brown.
yeah, it was Honey Brown. And then she went blonde. But the thing is, she was his nurse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All
Anyway,
right.
good talking with
Well,
you.
we'll
Next
hook
week
up
is
next
Christmas,
week.
so I don't know, but what is the next week? Let's take a look at the calendar.
Oh, it's no Christmas. What day's
So
Christmas?
on the
Christmas is
27th, so
Wednesday.
maybe on the 26th we'll do something. If you want to do the day after Christmas, the 27th, I got my buddy Michael Peterson. He's a country music superstar. Had several top tens and number one hits. He's going to come on and talk a little bit on the 27th. So we can do the
All right.
26th or the 28th. Let's
No,
do the 26th.
we can do the 26th, but you really got to remind me. Send me an email that morning or something so I'll
I'm gonna
know.
write you a letter. I'm gonna go to the post office and I'm gonna take some time out of my life and write you a letter. And you can
Yeah.
open it up. A reminder, Dary, we're gonna meet on the 26th. Hang this
And
on your
write
wall.
and write me a poem
I'll write you a
too
poem. Yes.
in the mail on a piece of typing paper. Make sure you misspell. You say you're a spelling champion, but
I'm
you
gonna I'm
got
gonna,
to
I'm gonna go for your eyes only, Dary, but I'm gonna spell it Dairy.
right.
Okay?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we'll do Thursday. That works for me.
All right.
If I
Thanks
can
everybody watching
remember.
it.
You throw me
Yeah.
off. I get into the schedules where my life is planned in schedules. So, but I'll just remind me that morning when I wake up. Oh,
I
then
will.
I'll
Well,
put on another.
I know you're gonna read it because you won't be on that Facebook group responding to all those biddies and Peter
They'll-
Piper.
They may take me back after I say I kind of miss them, you
Yeah.
know. But
Hey,
anyway, all right, we'll sign off.
Merry Christmas to everybody that's watching this video on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. You know,
Yeah, Elvis had some great Christmas albums. Like everybody in the world has Christmas albums, and Elvis did some great. You have one.
I have. He was the original. I mean, he
What's
had.
your, yeah,
Let's.
what do you think he did the best job of? What's the best Elvis Christmas song?
I think that he did White Christmas, which was the greatest selling Christmas song of all time with Bing Crosby, and he jazzed it up. This is a
Yeah.
cool. You might remember this or not. Let me see here. This
Read
actually.
the songs on the back. Can you read the songs?
Oh yeah, I can tell you what they are. Blue Christmas. Let me see here. Real quick here. I'm going to pull this out. These are actually pretty expensive. These are all worth about $300 to $500 each, and just in this bad condition.
Wow.
Can you see it good?
What's the songs?
So Santa Claus is back in town. White Christmas. Here comes Santa Claus. I'll be home for Christmas. Blue Christmas. Santa, bring my baby back to me. I don't need a lot of presents. That's a great song. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. Silent night. Peace in the valley. I believe. Take my hand, precious Lord. And it is no secret. But this was the Christmas album in 1957. Had all these
Wow.
great, wonderful photos. It's just
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, again, the naysayers are saying, why didn't Lucy want pictures of Elvis? And she could have got a million pictures of Elvis. So anyway,
Yeah.
we got to sign off. We don't
All
want to
right.
kill these people.
I'll
Are we
see
going to
you.
talk afterward or?
Yeah, we'll just say bye. I'll stop
All
recording.
right, bye bye.